Hey everybody, welcome to Crazy Tech Lab, and also welcome to those of you watching from Forbes. And today, as you can see, I'm going to be looking at MSI's brand new X470 gaming M7 AC. So this is one of MSI's launch boards for the Ryzen 2nd generation CPU and X470 platform, and we've been given the go-ahead as journalists today to do an unboxing of the CPUs, which you can see in another video, and also of this board here and a whole bunch of other boards. So make sure you check out my other videos because I'm publishing a whole bunch of stuff today. And without further ado, let's get it out of the box. So this was part of my official A&D press kit for Ryzen 2nd generation, and the other board was the Asus Crosshair 7 Hero, which you can see in one of my other board reviews. Let's just place the box over there. And yeah, as you can see, it's a pretty crazy looking motherboard. You've got like this giant heatsink which cools both of the M.2 ports and is bolted to the chipset heatsink as well. So kind of a crazy arrangement there. I think MSI had a similar looking arrangement on one of its other boards. A typical, sort of gaming motherboard from MSI. It's sort of sporting a grey and black theme, but there's plenty going on here in terms of features. Now, the Asus Crosshair 7 and the Gigabyte X470 Aorus Gaming 7 have an additional 4-pin power connector in addition to the 8-pin, of course. But with MSI, as you can see up here, they've actually got, if I just bring the board down, hopefully you can see that, they've actually got 2 8-pins. So either MSI knows something that the other 2 manufacturers don't, or it's just being quite generous with its power connectors there. I know that the Ryzen 2nd generation CPUs do have slightly higher power consumption and TDP figures than the older Ryzen CPUs. That's partly because they run at higher frequencies. So it's kind of interesting that MSI has done that. I haven't done any testing with this board yet, so it remains to be seen whether that does actually improve overclocking. So make sure you subscribe or watch me over on Forbes to see what I uncover with that. And it's a pretty well featured board as well. The other boards have got crazy amounts of fan headers. This board's not so crazy with the fan headers. I think you've got the usual sort of 5 or 6 there, I think. So not absolutely crazy in terms of cooling. Yeah, I think I'm trying to find it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I was trying to find the USB 3.1 header. That's something that the other boards include. You get power and reset buttons down here, the usual LED postcode display that you'd expect on a high-end board, and also I think that's MSI's OCG button down there. And a relatively capable cooling system. I'd argue it's maybe not quite as lavish as the one on the Gigabyte X470 Aorus Gaming 7, which had like 2 massive heatsinks up here, both linked by a heat pipe. There's still some really reasonable size heatsinks on this board, and it's arguably not as good looking as the Gigabyte board either. But it weighs an absolute ton, so it's definitely well made. Switching around to the rear panel, you've got a reasonable amount of USB ports. You've got 4 USB 3 ports, 2 USB 2, and the usual USB 3.1 Type A and Type C ports there. And as well as a CMOS clear switch and MSI's version of USB BIOS flashback. So a pretty well featured board, maybe not as crazy as some of the other boards I've looked at, but I don't know pricing yet. I'm hoping that this board will retail for a little less than the Asus and Gigabyte boards I've just mentioned, just because there don't seem to be quite as many features. So all remains to be seen there. This is the end of the look at the motherboard, so let's have a look inside the box to see what you get in terms of accessories. Obviously I/O panel. Actually, that's something else I should mention. Both the other boards have integrated I/O shields. Here you've just got the separate one, so that's another reason that I'm hoping this board will be slightly cheaper than the other 2 from Asus and Gigabyte. So you get Wi-Fi aerials for the onboard Wi-Fi, SLI bridge, a whole bunch of cables for your RGB lighting, and the SATA cables, plus of course the usual M.2 screws for your SSD as well. So that's pretty much it. Not a whole load of accessories, but then it's pretty much a similar, an identical accessory set to the to the Asus and Gigabyte boards that I've also looked at in my videos that I'm releasing today. So all that's left to say is thanks to AMD for providing this board in the official press pack. and I'll be doing some full reviews and roundups of these boards once I know exactly what their performance is like. And for now, I will hopefully leave you with some buy links below, the way you can actually buy the boards. I think a lot of the hardware, as I say, is coming on for pre-order today. The CPUs certainly are, and I think Asus has just sent an email saying that its boards will be up for pre-order today as well. So be sure to check the links below to the various websites where you can buy the new CPUs and motherboards if you want to be one of the first to get Ryzen 2nd generation. And again, I'd like to thank AMD and thank you for watching. So make sure you're subscribed to watch all my new Ryzen 2nd generation coverage, and thanks for watching.